America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Domination Politics. How's everyone doing today?
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom.
Is there some legitimacy to him seeing them as a... do you think at any point the media declared some sort of de facto war against the Trump candidacy?
No, and let's be clear. The reason that Donald Trump fired his national security advisor was because of a report that the national security advisor at the time, Michael Flynn, had lied to the vice president of the United States and to the people. That came out of reporting. So if the president would like to criticize the media, he has to explain why then he fired his national security advisor after reports came out about it.
Well, I think this issue goes way beyond Mike Flynn. And of course, Betsy, that question came up numerous times yesterday, but to the bigger picture, because, you know, I mean, what we saw, at least perhaps in all of our lifetimes, I don't know that we've ever seen anything quite like that. And it was explosive. And, you know, you could say maybe it was hyperbolic. You could argue maybe it went too far. But I think a lot of people believe that it was due, the media was due for some form of a comeuppance.
You know, it's hard. Like, look, the reality is that President Trump is working overtime very aggressively, very deliberately to try to demonize the media as an entity. That includes all publications. He doesn't usually single out individual reporters, but when he does, he also tries to zero in on folks that he sees as asking him questions that are too hard, as trying to hold him to account. But the fact is, in that press conference yesterday, he didn't just try to damage Americans' views of the media. He also himself said things that weren't true. He said he got more electoral college votes than he actually did.
Well,
that's
okay, but I know, I think he went to 306 from 304, but maybe it's the but isn't it these kind of comments, isn't it this kind of nitpicking that actually does Donald Trump's bidding for him?
No.
In its hour of maximum danger, I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world. And so, my fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Domination Politics. How's everyone doing today? Domination Politics.
We're just chilling. So I got some anxiety right now, so I'm smoking a bowl.
Why do you have anxiety? What happened?
So I went on a date this morning, and she's invited me back to her place at 2 o'clock. So I'm sitting here watching the clock at a dog park, and I'm pretty anxious. It's 1.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you have another engagement after this. That's good. I'm happy for you.
It's weird. I haven't been on a date in several years, so it was kind of nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And she brought up every topic I was trying to ignore and avoid.
What do girls bring up? Oh, really?
She just wanted to know all about my ex-wife and family issues. I'm like, God, opening a Pandora's box here, woman.
Well, I mean, when you're that experienced in dating, like when you're in your 30s, like me, like you just want to know the truth, you know?
Wait,
like, what did she have to go through? Like, what did she have to go through?
I thought you were 28.
Huh?
I thought you were 28.
Oh, you're sweet, Chris. See, this is why this is why we have problems, Chris. You stop being so nice, okay? Even though you're my best friend, stop being so nice. Okay?
No, the last stream we were on, you said you were 28.
I did,
So
probably.
I'm banking off that. You just told me your 30s, blowing my mind. Fuck.
I have to tell you, the media is the enemy of the people, bro. And I'm part of the media now. So are you. We're a free-thinking, innovative, progressive, independent media. And so we're going to have to lie from time to time to keep up with these fucking puppets of the rich. Just going to tell you, bro, they lie way more than I could possibly know. I lie about my age. They lie about fucking Iraq. That's amazing.
Right?
So
like, what don't they lie about? Fucking birds and shit?
They don't, yeah, exactly. They've never told the truth ever. How are they still on television? How are these people still on television?
I don't mean to go all conspiracy theorist. I've always said the birds aren't real. And I've been up here
That's a thing.
I've been out here in the mountains. I'm not going to say what state, but I've been out here in the mountains for like 2 weeks now. And I haven't seen a single goddamn bird up here in the mountains with no people.
You haven't seen a single bird?
Not a single bird. You go to town, there's birds. You go out to the fucking mountainside.
Yeah.
The birds are where the people are because they're monitoring the people.
Well, they're monitoring the people. Why would they do that? And why would they, dude? Why do they go all this trouble to surveil our data and monitor us? Why do they want? Do they really want our data so bad? Like they want to sell us shit so bad?
They want to keep us in control.
They're already selling us shit. They're already in control.
But they want to keep us they want to keep us that way, and that's the thing is the constant surveillance, the constant oppression. It's a constant means of fear to keep people in line.
So right, bro. You said it better than I could possibly ever. This is why you were the co-founder. You are the co-founder. I mean, you really did. You started this shit. Started this shit with me, bro. I couldn't have done this without you.
Now I'm a travel correspondent.
I know, bro. Exactly.
I'm meeting the people.
So I do have an agenda because I have to. we've got two things in mind. I mean, literally, bro, because I can't be like you and have my first live stream with 200 views in 3 hours.
It had 200?
Bro, I didn't even think that it was that good. But then I didn't see it. I didn't see it all the way because I thought I was making you nervous. Then I go back to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TommyNationPolitics, and I see you with not only like 200 views in 3 hours, which is very, very good for a first time live stream. But then I see like people liking your shit. I'm like, I've been saying the same thing this guy just said for like the past year, bro. You never like my shit. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but they think you're adorable. Oh well.
It's the mustache.
So,
it's the mustache.
So basically now I'm just gonna fucking be like, I'm gonna be like talking vicariously through you, Chris. This is why I wanted to get you on these two topics. Because I already know what you're gonna say because I know you, but I need these people to hear it too. Okay, and they're not listening. So.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna do this 100% the Chris way because I did not read up on the material at all. So you're gonna hit me with a fresh topic.
But that's why
a fresh opinion.
Yes, that's why we're watching the videos, and I haven't even told you my opinion yet. So this is gonna be a fun conversation. Well, I've got two things in mind. First is, well, I'll just let it go. And then we'll figure it out from there. But guys, this is the free-thinking, innovative, progressive media called Tommy Nation Politics. You're watching Tommy Nation Politics.
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
The exclusive shores of Palm Beach in Florida, the paradise hideaway for America's super rich and the one-time home of the deceased billionaire sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. It was to this luxurious mansion tucked away down a private road that Epstein lured dozens of underage schoolgirls to give him massages in return for cash. Then he would sexually assault them. The abuse spanned decades. In total, more than 135 of Epstein's victims have come forward. Epstein's rich and powerful friends, even former presidents and royalty, have been tainted by their friendship, but none more so than his closest associate and one-time lover, Ghislaine Maxwell, who stands accused of grooming, trafficking and facilitating the abuse. So grave were the crimes allegedly committed here that Jeffrey Epstein's home has now been entirely demolished. Of course, he died in jail before the claims against him could be tested in court. But Ghislaine Maxwell's alleged role in those crimes will form the central part of her trial. A trial that likely wouldn't even be taking place were it not for the tenacity of a local journalist here who was determined to find out the truth.
He wanted vulnerable girls. He wanted girls that were scared. He wanted to have power and control.
Julie K. Brown is an investigative journalist with the Miami Herald who watched in 2008 when Jeffrey Epstein was charged with procuring a child for prostitution, even though police identified dozens of girls who had come forward with evidence. He then managed to strike a deal to serve just 13 months in a jail with day release to work.
The whole thing didn't make any sense. I mean, how does someone abuse young girls and essentially walk away from it? And so I thought there was some kind of a fix. There was some kind of corruption attached to this deal. These girls were left feeling betrayed by the very criminal justice system that was supposed to protect them.
I, Alexander, constitute do solemnly swear.
But it wasn't until nearly a decade later when the Florida prosecutor on the Epstein case, Alex Acosta, was given a top job in Donald Trump's administration that Brown decided she had to go back and investigate further. Over several months, she persuaded many of the victims who say they were abused in Palm Beach to speak on the record for the very first time.
I learned in trying to track them down that a lot of them had had very difficult, traumatic experiences after this happened to them. These are girls.
They were young,
very young and very naive, a lot of them. And that was by design.
Police video from a raid on Epstein's home at the time showed a maze of rooms where the girls would be taken. Pictures of naked women adorn the walls. And this one, on its own against a marble backdrop, a drawing of the mistress of the house, Ghislaine Maxwell. US authorities allege she was crucial to the supply of young victims for Epstein to abuse, something Brown heard herself from multiple victims. How would you describe how pivotal she was to his operation?
He had a whole network of people who were helping him, and certainly Ghislaine was key to that network. You know, some of the victims have described how she would be driving down the street and she would see a beautiful girl and tell them to pull over, and she'd go and give them her business card. She perfected this.
Thanks for sticking with us. Well, jury selection has begun in the trial of British socialite and alleged sex trafficker. Do I have to say alleged? I've seen so many documentaries. Let's be real. Anyway, alleged sex trafficker and Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell. Opening statement set to begin November 29th. But get this, now her family has filed a complaint with the UN, the United Nations, on the heels of her trial, requesting that she get released from jail because it's so bad in there. Maxwell's siblings telling the human rights attorneys that she's been inhumanely locked up in her Brooklyn prison cell since being arrested in July 2020. Wonder how all those young women felt. The siblings say it jeopardizes Ghislaine's right to a fair trial. Meantime, the request comes just 1 week before the trial is going to start. This is just recently, a Manhattan judge denied her request for bail. As of now, Maxwell's plea of not guilty. All of the charges of grooming underage victims for sex with either Epstein or other influential men from around the country and world. And you know who I'm talking about. Now, both child sexual abuse and human trafficking are linked to many elites in our government and abroad. Yet the media and the government will tell you otherwise, right? You know the truth. Britney Spears.
So,
oh boy.
The first thing of business, guys, or Chris, because I'm talking to you, but everybody, if you're on the chat and you're watching this, let me know. First question is, how long is it going to take for Ghislaine Maxwell to hang herself?
I thought it was a rhetorical question. Shit. I mean,
is she going to hang herself before the trial, after the trial, when she gets convicted, because she will be convicted. I mean, she literally was caught. She was caught.
I'll put my chip on while the jury is deliberating.
So, do you think the jury's going to give her a guilty verdict?
Oh, I'm sure.
But like, she's protected so much. Do you see how her family, who's by the way wealthy beyond all imagination, they've been spending millions of dollars to try to get her out of prison because the judge told her no bail, you're a flight risk. But she's got millions and millions of dollars, so she could do it. She disappeared, Chris. She disappeared when Epstein died. She dressed up as a realtor, and she bought houses with cash, and then she fucking she toured all the houses pretending she was a realtor of these houses, but she was sleeping there. The only reason they caught her was because of that journalist. Well, I mean, literally, she's got untold amounts of resources, bro. A million contacts. But I'm pretty sure she's scared of jail for not those reasons. I'm pretty sure she's scared. She's scared of the hangings.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too. She knows what's coming. She knows what's coming.
Can they really do this like more than once? This accidental fucking suicide shit.
What do you mean more than once? This is not the first time this has happened.
I know, bro, but like, how many times are we gonna do this? We're not gonna get any answers, and she's not gonna squeal on anybody. She's gonna mysteriously die, and we're all gonna be fine about that. We're gonna talk about Britney Spears now.
We're blind. We're sheep.
Bro, I need answers, bro. I can't keep living like this. I don't know.
Well, the thing is about it, bro. The thing is about this whole situation is, for one, it's a very tricky, sticky situation. But the fact is, bottom line, it's a red herring. It's a scapegoat. It's a cover up what's really going on. But at the same time, it's a look into it's a view into the deep dwellings of our government in the people in charge and what they really do. But at the same time, they're getting all the people focused on these individuals.
But they should go to jail for sex crimes.
No. Hear me out. So what they're doing is they're focusing on these individual people that we know are scum. We know there's a certain lady that's gonna have their neck soon enough. But it's distracting us from the matters that are really important to us. It's a matter of keeping the masses entertained. It's a way of keeping the eye off of Mordor. Like, it's distraction techniques in, like, hey, focus on this section of the government over here. Look over here for a minute, while we're over here nuking or starting nuclear war, whatever the hell they're doing.
That's a great point.
But they have us focused over here on these sex traffickings. We know it happens. It's terrible. It's awful. We know that the people in charge are doing it, but they're focusing the camera somewhere else. And I'm not saying that these people, these young girls don't need justice. They don't need views. They don't need the eye of the media, but they're putting all of the media on it.
I mean, you got some good points, but I do disagree with you on two. One is the fact that the media doesn't want to do this story. They have not been doing it at all. In fact, that's the whole reason why I'm doing it, Chris. It's because they've been ignoring this story like the plague, the media. Have you seen it on any channels? They don't want to talk about it, and they're putting her fucking trial in the middle of the holiday season, so nobody knows that she's gonna be fucking dead by the time Christmas is coming.
No, but when she turns up dead, this whole thing's gonna go out of proportion again.
Out of proportion again, then we'll just talk about fucking Trump or fucking. I mean, I understand what you're saying with the scapegoats, but I don't know if this is a scapegoat. I think this is an oopsie, because they caught her by a freak accident, bro. She's the only one left who could tell us, who could give justice to the girls.
That's a high profit oopsie. That's a lot of propaganda that just fell in their lap, and that they're trying to decide right now what to do with it, which is why they're keeping it hush-hush, because they're going to bust it out right before or right after something big is about to happen. Because what's going to happen is we're going to get a threat from another country, something big politically is going to happen, and then all of a sudden everyone's going to be talking about the Epsteins again and how she didn't kill herself. It was a freak accident in prison once again.
These people cannot rape girls, lie us into war, and then turn around and make the raping of the girls our fucking like show circus. Do you know how sick that is? That's fucking sick. You're completely right, Chris. But do you know how sick this world is if that's true? It's they're using their own crimes as a distraction for more crimes.
Exactly. It's a whole, like, they're doing bad things to distract from the other worse things they're doing.
Oh my god, that reminds me of
Trump's
presidency.
It's so backwards. Everything is so backwards. Instead of like doing a good thing to mask something bad that's happening, or like showing like it's just stupid. Like there's just I can't even get my words out. I'm getting too worked up because it's just stupid. Because
that's so fucked up, but it's fucked up. I know, dude. You're right, but it's fucked up. And literally, when you're saying this, this is what they've been doing forever, bro. This is what Trump did. Oh, you don't like the fucking inject yourself with disinfectant. You don't like disinfectant? Then fucking we're gonna get on Twitter and ask for a stimulus. Like he would just do thing after thing after thing that would get people to stop talking. That's why it drove the media crazy, because he like tuckered them out. He would like give them something every fucking day, and then they would be like, "Oh my god, now we gotta spend 24 hours on this," but they couldn't even spend 24 hours on it.
Because he's a TV personality.
Yeah.
He's a reality TV star. That's what he does. That's what he's good at.
Yeah, he was good at it, bro.
He's good at he's a businessman. He's a salesman. Like I that's one thing I have to give the man fucking props on. Is throughout like my whole childhood, he was a businessman. He dominated the business world. He knew how to run it. Which is why when he first ran for president, I was like, maybe that could work out. And then it all fell apart because he's a piece of shit human being.
Yeah, and he was also a bad businessman. He's like literally he bought good businesses. He made smart business strategies, like when he did Trump Airlines, when those airlines were going bankrupt. He made smart, but it failed. It failed because he doesn't know how to maintain a business. He knows how to buy them. He's got smart fucking strategies, but he can't follow through, which is why he lost the election. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he used to be a good businessman, but the world changed and he's out of date. His tactics, his way of doing things is out of date.
Something else that's out of date. Something else that's out of date is the fucking mainstream media in general. I don't know how people watch cable news, but
I haven't watched cable in years.
I mean, there's no reason to fucking watch them. They lie all the time, like we just talked about, and they lie all the time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They lie all the time. Every time they say something, you could bet your bottom dollar that a month later it's gonna be fucking retracted and apologized for, but they'll never get fired.
Nope.
And Rachel Maddow should be fired immediately because she is the one. To me, Chris, I don't know if I've talked to you about this. This is insurrection. Everybody blames the right wing. They call it the big lie. I blame the left, the liberals, for starting all this shit on Trump. They did not stop with that man, bro. I don't care about how much of a horrible person he is. They talked about he was a Russian asset. They said he was getting peed on by Russian hookers. They literally fucking did the Billy Bush fucking thing 24/7. Now that Russian hookers tape, they would fucking have played it on the cable news, even if it was Russian hookers getting peed on, because it was Trump. But they didn't have it. They lied. They lied about the tape. They lied about the bots. They lied about Russia. They lied all over him, bro. So what do you expect when he's running for president and shit goes a little weird because the votes are everybody's mail-in ballots and COVID. So it's taking a long time. How do you think these right-wingers are going to act? It's taking a long time, and you've been lying all this time about their fucking dude Trump. How do you think they're going to fucking react to that? So I don't even blame the right-wingers for this insurrection, Chris. I don't. I blame the fucking liberal media. That's what I do. They're the ones who instigated this shit.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is like they instigated it and put the blame on the right wing.
Yeah.
They tipped over the domino, and then when the righties said, "Hey, that's happening," the lefties like, "Oh, look what you did."
Conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist. You don't take COVID seriously. Get your vaccine and shut up. Yeah, you think they're gonna fucking do that, guys? After you just fucking called their fucking Trump guy a guy who gets like to be peed on? Yeah, bro. Like you guys. And Rachel Maddow.
Who cares if he got peed on? We know he got peed on. He got peed on before he was the president. That's his thing.
I don't care.
He's
I don't
weird
care.
Guy.
I don't
He's
care.
an odd fellow.
I don't think. Well, I'm just saying the tape doesn't exist because they don't have it. If they had it, they'd play it every day. They play it now. They play it even right now, Chris. If they had the tape, they don't.
It'd be all over Pornhub.
It'd be all over fucking MSNBC if they had the tape.
All the right wingers gonna be on Pornhub, like touching themselves to that video. Shit.
I don't even want to imagine Donald Trump touching myself.
Horrible images.
So now we've gone from orange menacing water sports jockeys to dementia riddled old men, and now we're gonna have Kermit the Frog 2024. What do you think? Kermit the Frog 2024?
I'm down.
I think he's empathetic. He's empathetic. I give Kermit that.
How about the guy from Reading Rainbow in the 90s?
Oh my God! Can you just imagine what it does? Like the guy is so he's so common sense, right? He reads books, but what if he joined a party? Can you just imagine the other party? Like if he joins the Republicans, they're gonna be like, oh, he's just he's a white supremacist black guy. He's an Uncle Tom. He's a fucking, And then if he joins the left wing, it's like, oh, his books were they fucking made my kids fucking gay.
He would be the Rainbow Party. He'd be the Rainbow Party.
Take a look. It's in a book. Reading Rainbow. Your books made my kids gay.
Make America read again. That's his slogan.
So fucking controversial, bro. Canceled.
Right. I just ruined the whole show.
So, just so you guys know that are watching, my topic live stream, which is going to be on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, is going to be called The Enemy of the People. Why? Because Trump was right on a few things. He's a person. Persons can be right and wrong. He was right.
Hey,
he nailed the shit out of the media being the enemy of the people. And so I'm doing a poll on Facebook.com/TommyNationPolitics. I put a lot of choices out there. I need the top 5 of who are the most enemies of the people, who've lied the most, been the most dishonest, and manufactured consent for Wall Street, the banks, and the military industrial complex. You vote on the poll by going to Facebook.com/TommyNationPolitics. My choice, my biggest vote, my number 1 vote, she's my nemesis. She's a Rhodes Scholar who was an AIDS activist. She was the best soul in all the world. She was a sweet, loving, caring woman. And then the Democratic Party took her and made her the arm and mouthpiece of the party. She's no longer a person anymore. She is now a mouthpiece at the arm of the Democratic Party. Why do I say this? I will show you in Tuesday's live stream, so be there at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Chris will be there too, probably, hopefully. But this is my case in point. This is what got my gears going. So Chris, take a look. I'm gonna get your fresh response to this. But it's already. She lied about Russia. Rachel's lied about Iraq. She's lied about so many things. But she's so cute and she likes to just tell stories. But this was the thing that got my gears. When she takes Hillary Clinton, who is the queen of warmongers, she puts her on the show and she starts to fucking tell the stories for Hillary. So everybody watch Rachel Maddow in Rachel Maddow now manufactures consent for Hillary Clinton.
Obama essentially says, if the 20th century was the story of slow, uneven progress toward liberal democracy, the 21st century so far is the story of the reverse. She says, not only what's going on in the United States is a reversal away from democracy, but we should see it as part of a global problem. She identifies in particular that the authoritarian strongman regimes around the world are all helping each other, including, personally supporting other corrupt leaders in their corruption and helping them evade sanctions and stuff. And it does feel both global and very hard to fight. It feels almost inexorable. And speaking with Anna Applebaum about that, I found myself sort of in a dark place for a few days. And I wanted to put that to you to find out whether you see that through a lens darkly as well, or whether you're feeling more optimistic about strategy against it.
Well, Rachel, I am very worried, concerned. I spent a lot of time thinking about exactly what Ann Applebaum and you and others are worried about and trying to point out, because I do think that we are facing a crisis of democracy, a crisis of legitimacy, a crisis that really goes to the heart of what the future of our country and many others around the world will be.
So I spend my time trying to figure out what we can do about it. And I am not ever going to give up because there's just too much at stake. But first and foremost, we have to make sure more people, besides people like you, me, Ann Applebaum, and others who share our concerns, see what we see. Because I think that the role of disinformation, the way that propaganda has been really weaponized, and the increasing ability to manipulate people through algorithms and other forms of artificial intelligence will only make this harder to combat. So I don't want to be pessimistic about it because I think this is a worthy and necessary battle. I saw you talking to my two friends, Karen Dunn and Robbie Kaplan. You know, when they took on that case against the neo-Nazis and the white supremacists coming out of Charlottesville, you know, a lot of people were sort of scratching their heads. And I remember talking to both of them, particularly Karen, whom I've known, and she's worked for me, and I admire her greatly, about why they were doing it. And, you know, it was very simple. Somebody had to do it. We have got to end impunity. We have to hold people accountable for their actions, particularly when those actions threaten our way of life, our rule of law, our future as a democracy. And so I am determined to continue to speak out, to do whatever I can. And in fact, in the book we wrote, State of Terror, as you know, there is a plot against the country by people who truly want to turn the clock back. They believe that the progress we've made on all kinds of civil rights and human rights, the cultural changes that have taken place, are so deeply threatening that they want to stage a coup. Now, think about it, because that's truly what is behind Trump and his enablers and those who invaded and attacked our Capitol. They don't like the world we're living in, and they have that in common with, autocratic leaders from Russia to Turkey to Hungary to Brazil and so many other places who are driven by personal power and greed and corruption, but who utilize fears about change to try to get people to hate one another and feel insecure, and therefore be easily manipulated by demagogues and by disinformation.
Less than a week after the January 6th attack, in the second week of January, you wrote a piece in the Washington Post that I reread today. And among a lot of other observations, you said this. You said, "It is sobering that many people were unsurprised by what occurred last week," meaning January 6th, "particularly people of color, for whom a violent mob waved..."
Hey guys, this is Tommy with Tommy Nation Politics. How's everyone doing today? Tommy Nation Politics.
So I'm gonna get a little upset. I'm gonna turn the music off because I want to make sure that you can talk too. I don't want to interrupt you, but this was extremely fucking angering, bro. First of all, I wrote this down because I didn't want to miss anything. She says they don't like the world they're living in. She puts them in common with the autocrats, China, Xi Jinping, Russia gating. So she's not only warmongering with other countries, she's also telling, while she's warmongering about other countries, she puts our brothers and sisters, our countrymen who insurrected, who were mad about their little games, she puts them on the same pedestal as the Nazis. Did you hear that? As China, Xi Jinping and the war camps. They don't like the world we're living in. They want to turn back the clock. This whole thing was a giant, whole pre-recorded, well-rehearsed propaganda platform. This was rehearsed. Can you tell if that was rehearsed? Yeah. It was rehearsed, and it was pre-recorded, and it was nothing but propaganda. They want to turn the clock back. These are all abstract things. I want to paint the roses red. I want to fucking paint the town. They want to turn the clock back. They don't like the world they're living in. She's speaking ambiguously about people in our country that are American citizens. Meanwhile, she's warmongering about two countries, China and Xi Jinping, putting our countrymen on the same prospects, dehumanizing them as the Chinese autocrats. So she's dehumanizing our own countrymen while talking about how, well, Trump's the demagogue. Trump's the demagogue. But she just called half the country fucking Chinese autocratic Nazis. How did that happen? Hillary? How come you didn't win? I don't know. How come you didn't win, Hillary? Maybe it's because you call people deplorable? She does this all the time, Chris.
She's an elitist.
Why is she such a fucking horrible human being?
She's an elitist.
I've never heard her say anything good, ever. She's like Fauci.
There are certain people, purebloods, if you will, that she's okay with. Everyone else is a plague, a blight onto the earth. It needs to be like the way she acts. There needs to be a mass genocide. She's damn near Hitler. Like she
is while calling Donald Trump Hitler. She's Hitler while calling Donald Trump Hitler at the same time.
Yeah, she's projecting.
It's fucking weird, bro.
She's projecting.
Did you hear how
doing bad things and then blaming those bad things on somebody else?
Then she talks about Charlottesville and talks about the Nazis. And then she uses us black people as a shield to attack her political enemies. She's using black people as a shield to attack her political enemies, bro.
Because you have to have a good group to take the fall for you at some point. And that's what she's doing, is she's dividing the nation, putting part of the nation on a pedestal to protect her good name, to make her look like the country's sweetheart, the people's person, because she mentions all these other individual groups when all she's really doing is dividing the groups.
That's what you're doing when you're putting people in groups. That's what you're doing.
One nation, she makes us into races. She makes us into financial like points, like it's social classes. Like that's what she's doing, and instead of pulling us all together as a as humanity, as a country, as we the people, I will always say that we the fucking people, because
it's the first words in the Constitution. So
I know we're just focusing on her right now, but honestly, they all do it. They base their games off of division.
You're right. I said we the people is the first thing in the Constitution, so you should say that, Chris. You should. You got the right fucking idea.
My new motto. It's like we the people.
I mean, it sucks that it has to be a new motto. You're right. That is what they do, bro. And so, bad news though, Chris. I heard her say, "quote She doesn't ever want to be pessimistic, but she's never going to stop, and she is very determined, and she will always persist." So unfortunately, we're gonna have Hillary Clinton around for a long time, persisting. Nevertheless. I mean, they take that, the feminists, as like some kind of, she's a woman and she's strong. Like, I love Tulsi Gabbard. She can persist all day long. Hillary Clinton needs to fucking go to jail. I mean, literally. That's the second thing Donald Trump got right. Okay? First of all, she killed people. Second of all, Benghazi. Third of all, she rigged the primaries against Bernie Sanders. Fourth of all, God knows what else. But this woman talks like this. So just imagine what she does at a party. Like when they were talking about how she drinks the blood of adrenochrome blood, the infants, the QAnons, I was honestly like, yeah, probably. It didn't even seem crazy. This woman talks like this. So I'm just saying, bro. And then you put her up against Donald Trump, and you expect people not to vote for Donald Trump. And then you call him a fucking Russian asset, talk about his hookers, Billy Bush, call him a racist. And then so it's like, these people are doing this, and you're right. I think, Chris, you said it. When things, and they're doing more bad things to distract from bad things. Do you see what's happening? Do you see what's happening to the country? It's literally fucking it's tearing us apart. We're not the best at anything. They can't even say that now and be believed. We're not the best in healthcare, not the best in life expectancy, not the best in education, not the best in space. Yeah. And that's why they think, she said, China and Russia, they don't think that democracies can work. Maybe it's because they see your ass. Maybe that's why. Do you think she ever stopped to think that? Maybe because you, Hillary. Maybe that's why they think democracy can't exist. Because they never came here and saw us. They only see your ass and fucking old dementia-riddled old man Joe Biden. So maybe they think that we're all like that.
What do you think about that, Chris? You can't handle the truth. Look, buddy, you're in Iowa.
I do, however, before I sign off here, I will give you my official #1 answer to your question before the break, before the change of subject. As far as who is lying to America the most,
yeah.
Who's lying to us, the people, the most? Who's deceiving us the most?
Who it is?
Who is it? It's us. We're deceiving ourselves.
Oh, bro. That's deep. Guys, you only get shit like that on Tommy Nation Politics, guys.
America. It's you. It's me.
Have fun, Chris. See you later, Bugatti.